Hey everybody, Tom Barnes, stories from the 78, and this 78 story comes from the Hyde Park area because I'm talking to two Grafton Memorial Award winner Tracy Clark, lifelong Chicagoan. How are you, Tracy?
I'm good. How are you, Tom?
I'm doing well, and you are an author. I read earlier about when you were talking about your career that you were overnight success 20 years in the making.
Exactly. Some of us take a little longer. It's all good. We get there eventually.
We do, yeah, for sure. I am a perfect example of that too. Late bloomer, as some of us like to say. But you've been a staple in the Chicago landscape, media landscape, doing various things for newspapers and editing, and then your writing career kind of took hold, and you've
Mhm.
been doing that. Just give people a little background about you, because I love to be able to talk to Chicagoans
Mhm.
doing things. You wrote this new detective series about a black female detective in a very heavily dominated male industry that is the Chicago Police Department, the detective. But give a little people a little background about you, and we'll talk about the book because I think it all correlates together about your just great story of a Chicagoan doing great. And I thought it was a great time to share that to the rest of everybody else.
Yeah, awesome. I think I was always a writer, but you sort of have to sort of make a living at it, and so I had to have a job.
Yeah.
So I went to school, I did all the right things, graduate degree, all that stuff in communications and journalism, and then I got a job at the Tribune Company. So I sort of did editing for them, and I'm still there, 27 years going. And I do a lot of interesting things on a daily basis for my day job. I edit puzzles and word games and op-eds and all the fun stuff. And then I swivel over and I sort of write murder mysteries. That's what I do. That's my segmented day. My writing sched starts at about 5:30 in the morning, and then I swivel over to the day job and I get that done, and that's how my day goes. I've been doing it for quite a while now, and it's doing okay so far. I'm writing about Chicago and crime in Chicago, and I've got my female protagonist out there writing, fighting crime and catching the bad guys, and it's all good.
And unfortunately, there is a lot to write about when it comes to Chicago crime, right? Like either from the
Kind of
news or
is.
yeah, I mean that's the one bad thing. But I mean, it's a good muse to come up with these characters and really show different perspectives of that. And I feel like that's what you've done with this latest book that came out. Was my right? It came out January 1st of
Yeah, New
this
Year's
year.
Day. Yes, yes, yes. Hyde came out New Year's Day.
Yeah, and it's is it a part of a series that you're starting with the female protagonist that you were talking about?
Yep. This is the first of two books so far. The fall, the second book in the series comes out in late December. Same cast of characters, same police department, same crime issues, same city. So when I'm looking for crimes to sort of, put in these books, I don't have to look very far. But the great thing about Chicago is to sort of also include that social aspect of it. So we've got the city of neighborhoods. We've got
Absolutely.
seven. Yeah, every neighborhood is different. Everyone has a different vibe, a different set of people living in it. It smells different. It sounds different. So when I'm looking for places to sort of dump my bodies, figuratively, I'm find interesting places to do that. And I sort of try to highlight a different neighborhood each time. My cops go everywhere, under railroad tracks and on the river walk, which is where this one is sort of set. This killer is sort of hiding bodies under things. So the river walk was a perfect place to sort of put the first body there. And so I sort of scout around the city and find interesting, engaging places to put it. And, I think readers enjoy that. I certainly enjoy sort of doing it. So
And has this, how, as far as characters kind of come to be developed in your head, is this a character that you've been refining for a long time and finally felt that, all right, now it's time for me to do this series of books? Or is this something that you were very purposeful about? Like, I want to do this and I want to write about Chicago. I want to write about it from this point of view to highlight, what it's like being a black female in the police department of Chicago. Like, I want to be very purposeful about that. Is that, how do you go about that?
Well, it was purposeful for me because when I first started writing seriously, I absolutely knew that I wanted my protagonist to be an African American female. This is my second series. So the first
Mhm.
series was an African American private eye working the gritty streets of Chicago, Cass Rains. And now this is Detective Harriet Foster and her team of homicide cops doing the same thing. But I wanted that sort of representation. I knew that absolutely when I started because there weren't enough of us on the pages of crime books. We had Chester Himes, we had Walter Mosley, but when we had that sort of great wave of female protagonists, there weren't a lot of females of color there. So I wanted to sort of put my sort of stink on it, and that's what I wanted to do. And that's what I set out to do. So I'm pretty satisfied with the two series that I've got going. I like having Harriet there on the page. I'd like readers to sort of see what it is to sort of have that experience. And I sort of hope to continue it.
Is there a different neighborhood that you haven't done yet that you're like, you know what, for this next series, like I really want to delve into Hegwish, let's just say, because people, I feel like Hegwish is like it's the one biggest neighborhood that nobody's ever heard about. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
because of the location. I'm a nerd. I will take day trips to different parts of the city that I have no idea what it is. And I'll want to go there and check it out and really understand it and embrace myself in it because there's so much of the city that I don't know, and I'm not afraid to say that. So
Mhm.
that's why it's just curiosity, like, because I always have like, oh, I want to do a story in that neighborhood. I want to do one in that neighborhood
Mhm.
about things that maybe somebody's never heard of before. So I'm just curious if there's that neighborhood for you that you were like, you know what, that's going to be perfect for my next book.
Well, that's all the time. I think I hit Hedrick in the first book, the PI series. So
Right on.
there's something going on over there. But
I
I'm
know.
looking,
Kudos to
right?
you at that, by the way.
Yeah, I know, right? So when I'm looking for places, I'm just looking for interesting vibes, interesting energy. So I have many neighborhoods that I haven't hit yet. We've got 77 and a half.
Right.
So there are plenty that I can sort of pick. But I'm just looking for interesting people, interesting vibes, interesting smells, interesting sounds. Where can I go next? I don't sort of put a pin in a map. I just sort of look around. I'm sort of driving around all the time anyway. If I see something interesting, I say, oh, that might be an interesting way to sort of dump a body there, or this might be an interesting place for, you know what I mean? I find an interesting building or an interesting
Yeah.
community center, something that's interesting. So that will be my spot. So I'm looking around all the time, looking for other places I can go, and I've got a wealth of places that I can go next time. I'm just looking for anything.
I really love that what you said about the different neighborhoods of the different smells, the different tastes, the different sounds, because
Mhm.
I feel like so many people don't pay attention to those things. And so many neighborhoods have all of those things different. And it's incredible
Yeah,
to go from one, especially in the summertime when you got the windows rolled down and you drive from
exactly.
one neighborhood to another and you get closer to the lake, you start smelling the lake a little bit, and then you smell that wafting with whatever barbecue somebody's got going on.
Right, exactly.
That's like one of my favorite things about Chicago. So kudos to you for like I feel like we're kindred spirits in that way of seeing the city from a different angle than a lot of other people just driving through it
Right,
constantly.
exactly. And it's so sad when you see tourists and say, "Well, I went to Chicago," and I said, "Oh, what did you do?" And I said, "Well, we went to the Magna Mile and we saw the water tower." I mean, sort of on the main drag there. I mean, you've missed so much. Most of Chicago is out in the sort of a hinterlands there, where Chinatown and Greektown and all these wonderful cultures that they're not seeing. I don't know if it's because they are afraid of the crime stats or what we sort of have this reputation in the media about. But this is where Chicago is, out here where people live.
Yeah,
Not where they sort of, yeah, not where they work, but where they sort of go at the end of the day and have fun and sort of live their lives.
yeah, from Garfield Ridge to Logan Square to,
It's all
back
good.
of the yards. There's you can find great food in any neighborhood in
Yep.
this city, or a great story for that matter. And I really enjoyed hearing a little bit of yours. You're a native South Sider. You are from the Hyde Park area, was that right?
Well, Hyde Park is my sort of near area, but I'm in South Shore right now. I've been
South
there
Shore.
for several years, decades, really. That's my spot. Um, that's my jam right there. So I'm a South Sider, born and bred. I don't think I'll probably ever move unless something drastic happens. But yeah, that's where I'm from.
I appreciate the candor. I appreciate the honesty. I really do. It's nice to talk to a Chicagoan that loves the city seemingly as much as I do, if not more. If you're writing about it, it's wonderful. And you have a big event tomorrow, and I don't want to forget that at the Book Cellar in Lincoln Square, right?
Lincoln
Right on
Square,
Lincoln Avenue.
exactly. Yep. 4736 North Lincoln Avenue. I'll
What
be
time
there
is that
tomorrow.
considered?
I'll
Sorry,
be
go
there
ahead.
tomorrow at 4 o'clock with Lori Rader-Day, another great Chicago mystery writer, and we'll have a conversation about our books, and we'll talk mystery and murder and all that fun stuff.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you again. I wish you nothing but the best tomorrow. Sell a million books, and look forward to more work from you. Don't work too hard with your other day job, but for sure, best of luck with all your new projects coming up.
Thank you so much, Tom.